endorse.
Me?
Anyway, huh?
Not for free.
Nah. So final topic of the day.
Dun, dun,
Um,
dun, dun.
this is Cypher's topic. Give me 1 second. Cause I had to cut it off to fit it into some shit. Does hold up? I think I got it. Nope. Oh, got it. Does honor thy mother and thy father mean anything? Mean everything? Must you accept and deal with their toxic behavior no matter what? Is it ever okay to cut off your parents? Cypher, you want to go first?
I say you must respect your parents, but my issue is when your parents don't respect you. So then it's
2020.
a thin line
Uh,
between um I guess it's kind of touchy, man, because I'm not. I mean, you want to respect your mother and your father because they're your mother and your father, but if you're not getting the same level of respect, especially once you reach a certain age, then like, what do you do? Like, how do you know what I'm saying? And I believe that sometimes family, regardless of whatever it is, like if you gotta cut them off, you gotta cut them off. You know what I'm saying? Like we're in a day and age where there's like so much shit going on. People are people are depressed, they're going through, you know, different type of problems, and everybody's struggling and trying to make ends meet, and then you gotta deal with toxic family shit on a regular basis. And then it's a certain level of love there. So people extend themselves, and they try their best to try to make that work because, oh, that's my mother, or that's my father, or that's my aunt, or that's my grandmother. And then I just feel like you draining yourself more. And if they're not getting it, because I'm one of the people that say there's no cap on growth. I don't care how old you are. At the end of the day, you could always grow if you want to grow. If you see a need within yourself that there's something wrong that you need to change, you could always grow. So if a person's not seeing the need to grow, I think cut their ass off, just like everybody. That's just with anybody. Like you're dealing with somebody's within your cipher, and they're doing something that continues to harm you or make you feel a certain type of way, and they don't want to grow. Then yeah, cut their ass off. It's okay. I think it's okay.
welcome, Moni Love. How are you?
I'm alright.
Mama.
Oh, what up?
No.
Popping, popping.
So we're talking about toxic family members and honoring thy mother and thy father. And is there ever a good time, or can you cut your parents off?
Mm, okay.
You want
I
to touch
feel
on
like I
it?
had recently. I would say same thing.
Wait, say it again. I didn't hear
Time,
you.
huh? Can you hear me?
What did you say? What you first say? The first
I said
sentence
I
you
feel
said?
like we had a similar conversation a few weeks ago about like the parent stuff, and I was just saying that same thing like I had to say last time, like create those healthy boundaries. And I know it's hard to say what's healthy and what's not. And the reality is, what's healthy for me may not be healthy for you. So you have to create the boundaries that works within your situation. I definitely deal with a lot of toxicity in my family life as far as my own personal family. And the best way that I'm able to deal with it while sane is to those boundaries, knowing when to hang up, knowing when to not pick up, knowing when to walk out the room,
Mhm.
like protecting your personal space is very, very important to put that personal space and your personal energy at the forefront because they're not.
Uh-huh.
And it's not necessarily that they're doing it to hurt you or on purpose, but they're doing it because they're so within their own toxicity that they can't even realize that they're spilling out on you. And as an empath, I've learned to like what that means for me, what that sounds for me, how that feels for me. And like, I will never tell nobody to cut off their family member. I will tell them to create those healthy boundaries because I do feel like, we create healthy boundaries with work. We create healthy boundaries with, people that we fucking. We create healthy boundaries in so many different parts in our life. And I don't, we only get one mother, we only get one father, and it may not be the example of what you want, but it's what you have, and it's what God gave you, and it has made you, whether you realize it or not, who you are, and that's it. Like, you can't.
I just got a question. I got a question for that though, real quick. Like,
Sure.
I agree with what you're saying, but what if what if it's just not a healthy boundary? What if it's just, a level of respect? When does the disrespect become enough?
What he's saying is they're not accepting and they're not.
If there's no respect, you know what I'm saying? Like, if there's like, it's not even just them.
Give me an example, Sai.
I mean, just, the talking crazy, coming out your face.
For example, like, talking crazy.
Huh?
Like talking, for example.
Like when start cursing at you, talking to you outside, calling you out your name, different shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when does that become enough?
Mm-hmm. Even that healthy boundary. That's why I started it off by saying that everyone's healthy boundary is gonna vary. I have an alcoholic mom, so my boundaries are a little different than perhaps yours, because I'm not dealing with that per se, but I still have to figure out ways to still love my mom, to keep her around in my life, but still understand that at times she got to back up. It was a very difficult conversation with me having my mom stating to her, like, I'm in the plan now of starting a family, having kids, and this is not the energy I want around my children. And it hurt her. She felt offense by it, but it wasn't me being offensive. It was me being real, and it was me coming from the heart on what I want to have for my children to have as far as their upbringing. And I have every right to have that feeling. So days later, she called me back and kind of understood that. But in regards to what you're saying, then there may not be a healthy boundary. The boundary may be that you have to continue to choose you. And I want to always remind people, do not ever let anyone make you feel bad about choosing you first.
Yeah, that's basically how I feel about it. That's basically how I feel about it. But your mom's actually going and actually sitting with herself and realizing what you're saying, and the ability to come back to you later on and say that you are right. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that will make a change. That's growth. That's the growth that I'm talking about. But people don't necessarily do
but that doesn't happen though.
The growth is not there because she's still doing those same habits every week.
Yeah, but then that's not really growing. Yeah, but that's action. It has to be action behind it. Once you
gotta have the action behind it. Exactly.
You gotta have the action behind it. You have to have the action behind it. Yeah, absolutely.
So I think in that situation, if you feel like this person is so toxic, they disrupt your life so much, then the best thing to do is give them peace. And peace is peace out. Peace out. Peace out.
Peace out to you.
Cut a family member off. You gotta choose your peace. You gotta choose your mind.
Gotta choose your peace.
Like, we fighting with so many elements out in the streets, with the workforce, with this, with the family life, with the relationships. I don't want to be fighting with my parent. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. So in that situation, if you feel like you can't create the healthy boundary, then you got to give them peace. And I literally mean peace out. Peace out. Yeah, peace out.
Oh, I didn't know that could happen. That's dope. Ramel?
I mean, everybody got situations they family. I ain't gonna lie to you. My father was never there for me, so when it comes to that aspect, you're right. Just respect him. I went through maybe at least good 4 or 5 years not talking to my father, but you have like Mo said, that's your father. You have to respect him. You have to understand he's your parent. So it came at a point in time I sit down and talk to him and let him know how I felt about him. I mean, he was upset, but I'm at the age where I was at the age like, what you gonna do? Fight me?
Right.
That's not gonna happen.
Pull
So-
up.
I pull up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, me and him is cool right now, but that's how it is. I keep him at a distance. Keep him at a
Yeah,
distance.
that's what I learned to do.
That
Sometimes
is level. One thing I used to say to my husband is, when do us, because we all are around the same age, when do we become adults? When can we speak freely?
Mhm,
When curse?
mhm,
Can we, you know what I mean? Like it becomes a thing. And what we don't realize is because there's no school book, there's no handbook on this shit.
Mhm.
When we get to a certain level where we could be free with ourselves and who we are and what we are.
mhm,
And
mhm.
the reality is you have to choose when that day comes. For some, it may come 34. For some, it may come 54.
You
But
have to
I'm already
verbalize
saying,
it.
for those
And
that
that,
it come at 54, it took you 54 years to live your life, to finally live your life. That's sad.
and that's kind of why I came up with the topic. Just exactly what you said right there. You feel what I'm saying? It becomes a point where your parents think that you can't speak your mind. Like you can't
Yeah.
tell them how you feel, or you can't address the shit that they're doing that you feel that's wrong. Like you just gotta kind of take that shit. And y'all know me, like my mouth don't stop. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm since babies, like I got beatings for talking. So I'm gonna always defend myself. I'm gonna always be, and it becomes a time, it gets exhausting after a while because you already know how I am. So if I'm not feeling something, I'm gonna tell you. So
Correct.
the whole situation going left because you feel like I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just letting you know that you're not going to treat me or talk to me or do me any type of way. You know what I'm saying? And then you want the same level of respect from me. Like, no, like I'm grown too.
I would offer you the advice of writing them a letter because it's something that they can reread. It's something that you did that already?
Nah.
Oh, why are you laughing when I said that?
Nah, I'll just mild. I said I ain't writing shit. Nah, I hear you. I'm joking. I'm joking. I hear what you said.
Plus, we talking old school. We talking they receive that differently. I would offer you, as far as advice, to write them a letter. Be very descriptive. Explain how you feel. Keep it as respectful as you can, but break it down. And that's something that I don't got to keep talking to you. Refer to the letter.
I think
Good.
as for me, I think I already said what I really had to. But you know what it is, though? It becomes a time because I feel like I've already expressed myself multiple ways. Text message and all that. So it becomes a time where you're just tired. You feel what I'm saying? So it becomes a time where it's just like, yo, you know what? Like I didn't said everything I gotta say. Like I'm not gonna sit here and go bullet for bullet for bullet for bullet for bullet and continue to outline what the fuck is going on and have to defend myself all the time. Like it becomes a point where you're tired. Like you don't want to do it no more. You feel what I'm saying? Like I don't want to explain to you no more. It's like my peace.
So I offer that to you as your final closure.
Now you right.
Your closure moment. To write that up, bullet point it, and leave it there. And close that chapter. And wherever it's going to take you from there, all right. And if it don't, chapter close. I'm moving forward. Because we do have to accept that at some point we have to close that chapter. My family is so toxic, I had to decide, as the youngest elder, there was a point where I was being pulled. And as you guys know, my grandma passed. And again, I was thrown in a position where I had to be pulled. And this time I said, nah, I don't want to be pulled. And I'm not going to be pulled without me. And guess what? Saif? They figured it out without me. Right?
Yeah,
So that's the reality.
Like being the bad guy.
So even got to be in. Yeah, like let them figure it out. Let them figure it out for me. We've been figuring it out. We've been head spearing this stuff. Let them figure it out for a minute. And if they don't, oh well. But I closed that chapter and I don't have to worry about that no more. I don't worry about my family dynamic no more. I can't. It's draining me. It's draining me and it's pointless. And I've realized now as a 35-year-old woman how many years I've spent in trying to connect my family life. I can't do it. Like, I know, look at me like Wonder Woman, but this is one project.
Facts.
Shuffle. So you know what? I'm gonna bow down and I'm gonna go ahead and take that exit. That's all right. Was the lever right? I just want to leave. You know, I'm just now. Yeah.
Emmy?
Mhm. I
Emmy?
second everything that you said. The only thing that sticks out for me, and I want to make sure that I say it, is that there's something that you have to remember. So you can honor your father and your mother and not have to you don't have to put up with the ways in which they treat you, because that's not honoring yourself.
No. Yep.
It's not honoring you. But I will also add that don't go so far that you miss important stuff, because you also don't want to be so far away that you miss if they're sick or if they need you, because you're so, that's a way in which you honor your parents. So you don't have to you don't have to put up with the BS, but don't go so far away. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you can disconnect from the emotion, from the treatment. You can set boundaries and say, you know what, you don't respect my boundaries. This is the way in which I'm going to remove myself from that. But to completely remove yourself, it wouldn't be good for you. That's what I'm saying. Like, ultimately, it wouldn't be good for you as an individual, because you have to know yourself.
I think if you can make peace with it, and I know that that's more easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like,
it all depends on your connection with your parent, with your family, though. I think it's a connection part, because a lot of people don't necessarily have that deep connection with their parents. You feel what I'm saying? So, or anybody that's in their family, it's basically out of,
that's blood ties. It's different. It hit different.
Mm-hmm.
It's blood ties.
You just don't want to have any regrets in that regard, I would say.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, we tied by blood.
The alcoholic, and she ends up dealing with liver failure. How much sympathy or empathy you think I'm gonna have for that situation? When I had to deal with my mom as an alcoholic, and what comes with that, right? It's only but so much. It's very minimal.
So there wouldn't be any sympathy for death. I don't.
Oh, absolutely.
But that's what I'm saying. Don't go so far away from, like, the same way that you wouldn't advise somebody to totally, disown. I'm not talking about family members. They could kick rocks. I could live without, but your parent, there's
different.
There is just something that you just can't clearly disconnect the whole way. And what I'm saying is, you don't want to miss that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to miss that, because you'll be living with that, is what I'm saying. You'll be living with that. The fact that you totally said, fuck it, I don't want to be bothered. I'm changing my name. I'm changing my address, my phone number. I don't have no contact with anybody to let me know that they're still breathing. And then one day they die. You want to be there for that. That's what I mean.
That depends on your situation.
Yeah, I think it definitely depends on
if my biological father died, I might
too far in a toxic situation that death may be a freedom. Have you thought about that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes it be like that, man. Like,
but maybe
I'm
speaking from my own perspective, I get it.
Let me ask you a question real quick. You still have your father in your life, right?
Who, me?
Emmy.
No, I was raised with a single mom. She raised 3 kids.
Okay.
I don't have that bond. I didn't know that we were speaking of parents that weren't present, because I don't have a tumultuous relationship with my dad. I just don't have a relationship. So I didn't know we were specifically speaking.
That's a different topic.
That's
exactly.
a whole.
I didn't know that's what we were talking about. I'm thinking about,
parents.
parents that been in your house, they've been
Yeah, the
in
parents
your
that
life,
been in
they've
your
been
life.
That raised
consistent.
you. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
And you
I'm
just don't
glad
get
y'all
along
said
with them
that.
for whatever reason.
I was
I
about to
didn't know.
cut ass on my biological father. I'm glad I said that before I went.
All right, so
I was gonna cut his ass. Oh,
Nah, that's a different.
I was gonna
That's
pour
a
40
different
on his
level of.
There's a
fucking
difference when it
all
comes
that.
to
Yeah,
that.
that's
I'm
a
glad
different
I
level.
cleared
That's
that up.
different.
Yeah, that's
That's
different.
I was
Because I
about
can
to
go
disrespect.
forever when
I
speaking to my
can't.
dad.
Like I've
I'm
had
not
both of my
concerning that.
parents, and I've had both of my parents in my life.
All right, so
But
Cypher, let me ask
again,
you a question.
some
Yeah, I
people.
thought that that's what it was. Right.
I know. Sorry.
So it's
What to
like,
do? Put it on mute.
so
Yeah, I guess.
you know what I say to that though? Like I will never, I can never understand how it feels to not have a parent there. But then, I remember telling my boy this when he was talking about it, and and I say, yeah, but there's some people who have both parents and they have no connection with those parents. Or there's some people who have both parents and they father whoop their ass every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? Or they father fuck them up, or they mother, you know what I'm saying, put their hands on them and abuse them on a daily basis. So sometimes, it's hard to kind of say that, but I'm kind of a realist to a certain extent. So I say things that might sound disrespectful or a little bit too blunt, but maybe that was God's way of keeping an abusive motherfucker out your life by removing him completely from your whole situation. And you may have turned out like you don't know if you would have turned out any better with having that type of person in your life. You know what I'm saying? So just because you have a parent in your life don't necessarily mean that the person that's in that household with those two parents is enjoying a storybook white picket fence family. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't necessarily be like that. Like you could really have an emotional abusive motherfucker for your parents, yo. You know what I'm saying? So
That's what I want to ask you, Cypher. I mean,
Hold up, Ramel. We're gonna get Natia and Taj. They didn't get a chance to chime in on this yet. Natia? Not available. Taj, you wanna jump in? You
you
muted.
muted.
Taj, you muted if you're talking.
Although he said shit.
You just said shit, but you didn't unmute.
Oh, now I see.
There you go.
Okay, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Now I kind of just agree with I didn't catch her name. The Moni.
Monique, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with her, but then at the same time, I just feel like respect is like it should be given and earned. Like if you're not giving me respect, I can't give it to you. And I don't really care who you are. I think in my family, the older people, like if you say anything that's against what they believe, is considered disrespect. Which me, on the other hand, I don't agree with that. So if I feel like you're wrong, you're wrong. You need to apologize. I know my mother, she has a hard time doing that. And I don't really clash that much with my mom, but we clash when it comes to my daughter on certain stuff. Like she might feel like my daughter is being disrespectful on something. I don't think she is. I think she's being opinionated and standing up for herself. So
Yep.
I think it's kind of a battle with that, but I think it's also old school versus new school. And then and then I also kind of agree, like it's kind of hard to honor somebody you really don't have a connection with. So like as far as like my father, like I really don't have no connection with him because I didn't grow up with him. I didn't really meet him until I was older, and we try. It feels forced. I don't like anything that's forced.
When it feels
anything
forced,
at all.
it feels crazy, right?
Yeah, I can't do it. So I respect him. I'm going to respect him because he respects me. But I don't know. Like, I guess the problem, like my dad, he's cool. My mom, on the other hand, that's the one. She just, everything you do is disrespect. So I don't know. Pray for me. Pray for my child, really, because that's what he's
the
going
old
through.
school way of thinking. If you don't agree with them and you younger, it's disrespect.
It's everything. And they be dead wrong. They can be dead wrong.
it's almost a slave mentality to
It is.
be like, I'm older than you, so no matter what I say goes. Like,
Even if I'm wrong, I'm right. Type shit.
yeah,
Right.
Like,
yeah.
no, man.
That's
Listen, I've been
actually toxic behavior that can
Very
lead
much.
to, like, that can trickle down into your relationships. That even when you're wrong, you're right, and
Yeah,
you destroying your relationship with that. You know,
absolutely.
women take notes. That even when you're wrong, you're right. Way of thinking is just not. It's not the way to go. Natia, are you here, love?
I'm here. I'm getting ready for work. Sorry.
No, I'm saying, do you want to chime in? Yes, no. It's up to you.
Um, I agree because there, like, I know, like, as far as my family goes, there's like that whole, like you said, like that you're at one level and the child is at another level, and it's like they can never meet each other like at the middle. Like there's a lot of times, especially after like my parents passed, where like I had issues with like my uncles, and it was all about just demanding respect and you know, as an adult, and you respected me for being an adult making my own decisions now. So I think that a lot of times families, the community, like you said, like a lot of people can't really relate if you don't really have a relationship with your family members, like with your parents or whatever. But at the same time, you know, people have to see people as human beings in a sense. Like, you know, like we do grow, we do make mistakes, we do say things that are wrong, we do, you know, we're not perfect. So I think a lot of times when people get to that elder stage, it's like, I'm here and I'm not listening to nothing nobody else is saying. And that's not the way to go.
yeah,
You gotta see that person grow up at some point too. Like they're not gonna be a baby forever.
yeah, I don't do that.
Man, it's a tough subject for you. Do you want to chime in?
Not really, to be honest.
I
Bring
understand.
back too many bad memories.
I understand. I respect that. That's why I didn't want to really come to you. When it comes to me, I used to be the on or die, but I would say within the last 4 to 5 years, I'm not with none of that. Like, I'm grown. I'm damn near 40. I'm not gonna let nobody tell me about anything. And if they right, they're right, and I'm wrong because they older than me, uncle, mother, none of that. Me and my mom we have a good relationship. We have a great relationship actually now. I cursed out my mom when I was 18. Uh, I think we've been good ever since then. But she was going to church heavily. You know, when people first find God and they are super saved, and I just felt like I don't know what it was. I don't know why she was like. And my mom, she raised 3 boys, no gangs, no early pregnancies, no none of that.
No fathers.
No father, no child support, nothing. She did a damn
G,
good job. It was something
G.
about I don't know when I left the house and came back. It was around 19. No, it was 19. I don't know. I don't know. It was something like she saw me as like a boyfriend almost. I don't know. And she was just like not treating me right. It went on for like 6 months and I spazzed out. Like I just cursed her to filth. I was like, nah, you can't be going to church praising God and then come home treating me like garbage. It's just not gonna happen. You being fake. And she kicked me out, obviously. She told her sister, obviously. I was, but she came around and she was crying and she told me I was right, and we've been good ever since. So now this sperm donor, yeah, I said that's a different topic for a different day. Yeah, some of y'all already saw. I cursed him out on Facebook. I ain't even.
You should put that for the next topic.
That should be
I
definitely the
think we
next
all have
topic.
stories to tell on our sperm donor,
Somebody word it and put it in the chat because I don't even know what.
man or woman. Some people have mothers that were sperm donors,
Yeah, so.
fathers.
But yeah, I'm not with the I'm not with the because I'm younger. Y'all gonna just tell me what to do and feel and trying to run my nah. And I
I think
think
that sometimes parents have to come face to face with their grown-up children.
Yes.
You have to reintroduce yourself. Like, I'm not that baby you raised. I'm a man. I'm a woman. You have to speak to me.
so. Is that
You know?
that what
How
JB was
you
talking
feel
about?
dealing with your teenage daughter?
Say it again. I didn't hear you, Mo.
I said, how have you dealt with it dealing with your teenage daughters?
As far as what specifically?
Seeing you
Sorry.
in a new light as more of a woman and less of a mother.
Thank God till now, 13 and 15, they still speak to me. To me, it's always an open forum for them to express themselves. And I let them know when I'm wrong. I don't want them walking around thinking I'm perfect, because I'm not. And plus they see my imperfections. So I would be a hypocrite not to pinpoint.
Exactly. And I think that's where
that I'm
parents go
imperfect.
wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where parents disconnect with their child, because their child will see that shit and be like, yo, I just said, yo, you
You're a
completely
hypocrite,
wrong.
right?
Like, you dead wrong.
Absolutely.
Of the sex in the room. Pat all love telling that story, how his mom said, no, you can't have, I would never. That's so
Yeah.
disrespectful.
That's what she threw me out for, because she caught me with a girl in the room when I was 18, and she was like, I would never have sex in my mother's room. I was like, you're lying. I saw you. But anyway,
That's what it did when you don't see yourself, when you
Yeah.
don't see what you're doing, and it's constantly dumping on your kids, you dumping on them, but then the kid is really looking at you like, yo, bro, I just saw you do the same thing yesterday. I just saw you do the same thing last week.
Right.
Or
Like
yo,
you're
you're
so
dead.
far removed from
So
what you
far
created. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, those are your creations.
Exactly.
So how can you not see a mirror image of yourself in some way?
You
Come
know,
on.
I wish I need to forward this to my mama. I swear to God.
I ain't gonna lie.
I do, because she really be coming. Because I'm probably more relaxed than she ever would be as a parent. You know what I mean? But she let her tell that she done did everything right, and I had to, like, the other day I had to check her. I had to be like, really? Are you serious? You really think you knew everything I was doing when I was a teenager? Like,
Yo,
do you really think that?
tell me
And
You
about it.
have no idea.
You need to break it down to her.
Yo,
I
I had to
don't know. That's
listen,
the
I had to
about it. And that's
I had to bust my mother in the head with
mom love. Like, you can't hold your mom accountable for something that you never expressed to her.
Yeah. So
You're thinking
I agree.
she should know, but maybe she don't. And it's
No,
maybe
she
now
don't.
is the
She
time
oblivious.
for you to break it down and say, well, wait. I've been feeling this not as just an adult, but when I was a child.
Yeah, absolutely. And you
They-
know what? That feeling helps me now because I navigate a lot of stuff. Like, I'm really strict when it comes to, like, I don't tell everybody in my family what's going on, only because I know how that felt. You know how, family, like somebody said, call the auntie up, tell everybody what you did.
Mhm.
I don't agree with
Tell your
that. I do not
business,
agree with
but
that
they
kind
won't.
of stuff. So,
They won't tell the auntie what they did though.
No, they
They
don't.
won't tell the
I ain't
auntie
gonna
that
lie.
they was in the
no,
crib.
never.
Never.
Parents still be
No.
wrong, and they know they're wrong and they don't care. Let me give you a story. I turned 18. I'm thinking like, okay, I got my own apartment. Let me get my own cell phone. So I go to T-Mobile. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm about to set up my own cell phone. Pat, you know the story. I went to the lady, like, hey, I want to set up my own cell phone. She was like, cool. Let me get your name, your social. I'm like, I give her all the information. She comes back to me, oh, you owe us $1,000. I'm like, what? How I owe you $1,000? I'm like, what are you talking about?
Oh, your mama got you.
I'm like, and I'm going back and forth. Like, how the hell? I never opened up a T-Mobile account. So I call my mom. My mom quick to me, it's your father. So I call my father. I say, Dad, did you open a T-Mobile account with my social? Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, Ramel. I'm like, what? You're the only person that have my social, and my middle name is your first is my middle name. My middle name is his first name. So all you gotta do is cut off my first name. So the whole time I'm like, Dad, did you open an account just to be honest with me. Oh no, I don't know what you're talking about, Ramel. So I blacked. I hanged up on him.
That's illegal, but
Yeah,
I'll let you proceed, but that is illegal, and you can get that bill wiped away.
yeah. No, I got it right away. So my stepmother gonna call me. Oh, Ramel, your father was wrong. I know he was wrong. He told me he did it. He shouldn't have done it. I said, why are you calling me? Why is he not calling me?
Right.
Still to this day, he would not admit that.
Wow.
We'd have
That happened to me too, brother.
We'd have to shoot the fade. Straight like that. We'd have to fade.
We
Straight
all
like
done
that.
been there. We all done had some bills in our name.
Didn't you know?
Frankly, I'm
I had
happy
the
that
electric
never
bill in mine. The
that has
electric bill and
never
the phone
happened to
bill.
me.
I
Frankly,
had
I'm happy.
Con Ed, I had all
You're
types of
welcome.
bills in my name. But
Comments, everything.
I said,
All the
I'm
That's
Con
one
Ed
thing.
and the Verizon bill.
you're right.
That's one thing that has never happened to me. I can get
I'm not
that.
gonna lie. I'm gonna do the opposite for my children. I plan to like gift them on their 18th birthday with like an 850 credit score. I want to do
I
the
think
If you're
that's
doing it
dope.
correct, yeah. If you're doing it correct, there's
I want
nothing
to do
wrong
the
with that.
opposite and really
Word.
like set them up because we don't set our children up. We will set our children up with bills when they turn 18, but we don't set them up with the opposite.
I had
A
to
great
try to get
credit score,
everything
some
locked.
money, like yeah. Yo, didn't he get a car in your name too?
Yeah, I had to get everything
Yeah.
locked. I had to get everything locked.
Yeah, he got a car in his name, all that.
Wow.
Grammy.
Is that because you're junior? Because I know
No,
a lot
so-
of people who have junior, they have those struggles.
My middle name is his first name, so you don't have to use my.
Ah,
You don't have to use my first name. So
right.
my mom, thank God, because of my mom, we called. We had everything locked. So if you want to open up something, anything, you have to call to get
Sure.
it done. You have to ask questions.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Oh, somebody in the chat, my boy Mungwa said these conversations are therapeutic as fuck. That's what we here for, bro.
Nah, it's the truth though. We don't get the voice. The kids don't get the voice how they feel, man. Because it's always gonna be met with some type of backlash or some type of defensiveness.
Yep.
And it's crazy, but you can get defensive, but I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just that's my whole thing. Like, I'm big on, don't come at me for the same things that you do. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you don't want nobody calling you out for what you do, don't come at me for the same things that you do. You know what I'm saying? Or try to and it be like you dumping, but not like I said, I just seen you do the same thing, yeah.
Yep.
Or you told me not to do that, but then the next night you did the same thing you just told me not to do. So what is it? Is it you don't want it done for a certain reason, or you just don't want me to do it? Because you're the parent, so you're just trying to control what I do, and you're trying to control my action.
I will definitely say, no matter how much I want to put dirt on these parents, they are speaking from a set of experience that we don't have. And the reality is, even with the time change and even with the social media and all these other avenues that we say that we have and we do have that are different, they are speaking from a sense of their own experience. And maybe you don't want to hear it. And maybe they're telling you to do something that they don't want, that they're still doing to this day. But the reality is this: is it making them a better person? No. So if they feel like, Scythe, nah, I don't want you doing that, that's because they're speaking from their own experience.
I'm not necessarily talking about, I'm talking about like, all right, so let's say for instance, you come to me, say I'm living with you, and you come to me and you say, don't leave no dishes in the sink, right? Because I saw a roach and I don't want no critters in the house. I don't want that. So don't leave no. And then you coming at me like it's not even like, yo, do me a favor, don't leave. Don't leave no dishes in the sink because of the. And then the next night you walk by the kitchen and there's 2 pots soaking in the fucking sink.
I get you.
Pots gotta soak.
Like, you just came at me. You feel what I'm saying? And then you turn around and the next, so what is it really about? Is it really about the critters? Is it really about keeping
No, a lot of that be about control.
Yeah, it's about
exactly.
You're the child.
It's about the control and just
No,
just
it
because they
could
can.
been that those pots needed to soak.
Nah, don't G me.
I know
That means you.
Caribbean.
That means you. No, because if you're.
Make it soak. No,
if you're so
I'm gonna be
adamant, if
real.
you're so
I'm gonna be
adamant,
real. I'm
if you're so
sorry.
adamant,
And
if you're
also, if that's being said, then we have to create our own space where we don't have to worry about that.
nah, facts. Definitely facts. Definitely facts.
That's the main facts. Like we have to be in a predicament where I ain't gotta worry. If I want to leave the dishes piled to the rim, that's my business.
What if you're
You don't
13?
do that in your own home.
What if you're 13? You can't leave.
Right.
Listen, it's full, I'm be fully, totally honest. Like, so when I moved from New York, right, my parents, my moms and my step pops, they basically for mad long, for years, to the point where it was kind of like begging, yo, come down to Florida, you can do this, you can do that. Come down to Florida, you can do this, don't worry about it. And it's like, yo, when you coming? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, cool.
Now I'm here.
Now I'm here.
And now they treat you like shit.
Now the bullshit. You
Exactly.
feel what I'm saying? Now,
Yeah.
now you start the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you knew with it. But see, again, like I said, I'm very self-accountable person. So deep down in my mind, I knew. That's why I was avoiding it for so long, because I knew what it was gonna be like, because it's not the first time that happened. You feel what I'm saying? But then again, like I keep saying, there's growth. Like, do you just continually put something on somebody, or do you see if they actually grew as a person? You know what I'm saying? And then you realize that they haven't. But to me, there's no age limit on growth. Like, you gotta fucking grow up, son. You know what I'm saying? And it's not cool. It's not cool. And then you forget all of that. You forget the fact that you basically begged me to come. You forget the fact that you know what the situation is. But the little pettiness becomes more important than anything else. And now you at odds. Now we beefing over little petty shit that don't even matter at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I don't get it. I don't understand that. Why people do that. Should have just left me alone. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you could have just left me alone.
It's crazy. That's how people show love. It's toxic. Some people.
Nah, that's
I realized I think I realized like that with my family, because you know, I used to be like, man, why my mama always so hard on me, or you know, why she always come for me? Because I mean, I was the oldest, but I had to realize too, it really was more or less like what she grew up off of. This the same, you know, relationship she got with her mother. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty toxic. With learning that, I had to, you know, reevaluate myself to make sure I don't do that to my child.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just hard because I'm the type.
To have a certain level of empathy and sympathy, because you can't be expecting your parents to give you the tools that they didn't have.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then you can't be teaching. But then again, I give you that. But then you can't be teaching life tools. Then you can't be teaching me about growth and responsibility and accountability.
But
like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
stay what they saying, right? So, for example, if you're gonna use the pots in the sink, no, nigga, wash them pots, because they right. It's gonna get you critters. You know, so it's like, what do we take and what do we not? What's too much and what's not? Because
exactly.
It's not like what they saying to you ain't true. It's true. If you leave, depending on your environment, like we live in Jersey, but I don't have the same environment where I have to hurry up and wash the dishes because I have to worry about roaches. I don't have to worry about that where I'm at now. So,
but if
you're gonna get them same critters from soaking that fucking pot that you would have get if I left the fucking plate in the sink. Don't G me.
But my thing is do as I say. That whole thing don't work. You know, that do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Like, that's not okay.
And you can't, and then these are people that go to church every Sunday, or they virtual church, and they got all these Joyce Meyer's self-help books and spirituality.
But half of those people that's reading that stuff don't even take half of it in.
This is what I'm saying. So
that's the problem with that too.
Don't teach accountability and growth to me. Like, you could tell me about your life experiences and you could teach me shit like that. But when it comes to growth and accountability, if you have none, you can't teach that to me. I'm not even trying to hear you.
Because you can't respect it. You can't respect
I can't respect it.
Yeah.
It's not respectable.
Yeah, I
Teach
can't.
me about something else. Tell me about something else. But if you have no accountability, like you can't teach. And that shit is irritating. You can't. I'm gonna sit there and look at you like you can't teach me about no accountability. Absolutely not.
We talk about it all the time, but parents are like managers in a store that manages staff, not even in the store, that manages staff. They think like what they doing is invisible. And the only thing that the only thing that you should understand is what they telling you. It don't never work like that. And I think
Just don't add up.
I think they don't realize that like bosses need to learn this, parents need to learn this. Yeah, just because an employee is under you in status and in salary, they can still see your every movement. And kids too. Just because it's a little kid or it's a teenager, don't mean they can't see everything you're doing and comprehend the movements you're making. And then come the
Absolutely.
next day and be like, do this and do that. I would never do this. I would never do that. You better do this and do that. And they're looking at you like, but I saw you.
And that's where
And
you lose
sometimes
kids.
they don't even tell you they saw you.
Mhm.
They just look
That's
at you
where you
like,
lose
See, that's
kids.
why I don't come with that perfect approach with my child. Like I
You
literally go
can't.
to real life situations that I had. Like, look, I'm not telling you not to do X, Y, and Z, but I'm telling you what's gonna happen. There's only X, Y, and Z gonna happen. Either you listening or you not. I mean, I don't know. I just and
And they
people
gotta
look
make
at
a
that weird,
choice.
like it's your friend type stuff, but it's not that. I just want. I know life ain't perfect. Everything don't happen perfectly. And I don't want my child to be thinking like I'm always in her head, to the point where she don't even want to tell me nothing. That's another thing that I fear. So I try to be so open with my communication with her, just so that don't happen. Like, I don't know. I don't want her to ever be thinking like, my mom always telling me to do this, but she ain't even doing it and all this stuff. Like, no, I don't know.
Or you that parent that tell your kids they can come tell you anything, but every time they come talk to you, you fucking.
See, I would never do that. I would never do that. And my daughter has tested me with that. Ooh, the first time she tested me. Yeah.
Bumblebee, your phone.
Bumblebee. Yo, Bumblebee. Your shit
It
tweaking.
always happens to him.
Yeah. Got that simple mobile.
But yeah, that has definitely, yeah. I don't know. I would never do that to my kid. Like, you tell me something, it may be shock value.
Nah, I think this generation is the generation of breaking curses. Between the age of 28 to 40, I think that age group is the age group where we're like, you know what? Everything that our parents taught us wasn't right. And they did the best job they could based on the knowledge they got from the person before them and the person before them. But that ain't always the way. So I think the kids coming up, I don't know what age range that is, but the kids coming up, they're going to be all right. Because right now, a lot of kids in their early 20s, they're depressed as fuck. And I don't know if it's the parents' fault or anything of that nature. I don't know. I don't know where the blame is, but I know the kids behind them, they might be a little better because I see a lot of people like on my timeline talking about breaking generational curses and just not like having open lines of communication and actually respecting your children as human beings. Not quite what the level of what the white people do, because they go a little bit too far. Like,
Go ahead, Billy. You can do whatever you want.
Ma, get my meatloaf. Nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. But
nah,
it's a little in that direction, but I say a small fraction. You ain't gonna be yelling at me and cursing at me and telling me to get the fuck out your room. I'm taking your door off the hinges. Now you ain't got no room. Nah, you tell me get the fuck out your room. You now sleeping on the living room. Now you ain't even
sleeping on the porch.
See, no, you can't put him on the porch. Put him on the porch.
Put him in the
You
backyard.
gonna learn today.
Tell him to go camping.
You ain't even gotta get these kids.
See, that's too much.
Generation, You gotta just take away the electronics. That's what they
They
care about.
don't care about that. They'll figure another way out. Trust me, I go through this all the time.
Especially
Nah,
my
I got a
that shit
phone.
works for my older kids.
I stopped hitting my daughter when she was. I hit her once. I was like, I can't do that. I can't turn into my father, and I felt so bad. I was like, I'll never do that ever again. So I try to pick certain things. Like if she does something bad, like we'll talk about it, and I'll punish her in certain ways where I know it's gonna affect her. She's like, oh, I ain't doing this again.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. When I stopped getting beat and she started punishing us, I wanted to get beat again because you get beat and it lasts for 5 minutes and it's over.
You be back,
For a
you know,
month?
take your little nap afterward.
Yeah, I think I said, yo, can you go back to beating us? She was like, nah, y'all all damn near 6 feet. Yeah, my hands hurting. I'm good.
I used to tell my moms,
Yo, Bumblebee, the Autobots are transforming. Yo, leave it come back, bro.
they come back.
Yo, but
We can hear you, but
yo, here's what I plan to do. If my child say, yo, I want the new Jordans. Sure, let's go get them. You can get 2 colors. Then we're gonna go to Payless. We're gonna get the Payless version. My dad, what's that? These the rejects. If you ever get out of line doing bad in school, you can't wear the good shit no more. You gotta wear the
Check.
reject shit.
I need to try that.
I'm good, Mike.
Yeah,
Good,
That's what my mom.
Try
I
that.
swear to you.
I'm
That's
you
what my
good.
gotta
mom.
you gotta
Yeah,
do
you
that.
good.
You gotta let them know, like, if you good in school and I could afford it, you could get whatever you want. But once we get the good version, we getting the reject version. It's gonna be on the other side of the closet. Let you come home with some good grades. Your good side of the closet is getting locked, and you're gonna be picking out the Buster Brown side.
Hell
The
yeah.
reject clothes and the
I
reject.
don't think
So
that
good in school.
I don't think that that's the best way. I think, especially in a Black community, and this is not that far of an example,
Mhm.
but a lot of the times in a Black community, we want to humiliate children. For example, I
Talk
know
about it.
people who, when their kids act up, they give them what they call it, the baldy or whatever.
I knew you were gonna say that.
no.
No,
That's
Grown up haircut.
that's not effective parenting. I'm sorry.
That's not
It's
cool.
not. It's not. You
I-
are now subjecting this child to what you thought was discipline. Now they finna go to school and deal with bullying.
Yep.
And that is a whole nother level, because the reality is a lot of bullying, they don't even tell you what they're going through. They go through it alone and they feel they're doing it alone. And if you push them where you're the person who shaved the head, you're the person who made them wear the rejects, they're not gonna come to you and tell you. They're gonna go through the experience.
I know a kid. I know a kid who moms used to come whoop him in front of the class in junior high school.
Yeah, that was my mom in elementary school
Life
and
story.
Violation.
What was his life story? How's he doing now?
I don't even know, bro. I don't even know. I know my pops did that to me twice. And that kind of like, that shit kind of fucked up our relationship. It was a point in time, son, like I was on some real shit. Like I would have been good, like never talking to that nigga ever again. Like that nigga was like my enemy at one point. As a kid, man, cause he violated for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And like I used to tell my moms, I used to tell her like, and it's very like my parents never really hit me. Like I didn't get like my grandmother she was the one. But like my parents never really hit me, but it was the times that they did. It was the times that they did where it was like, for that, you know what I'm saying? I used to tell my moms like, yo, I wish you had some of my friends as sons, and all the little shit that you be flipping about, like the world is coming to a fucking end. You would lose your fucking mind if they was your sons.
Your children, yep.
You know what I'm saying? If they was your children, you would lose your fucking, you wouldn't even know what to do with yourself. So I said, the little shit that you be riffing, like the world is coming to a fucking end, like that shit is
my
shit other mothers is going through. You got a son that's not in the streets, not getting arrested. You feel what I'm saying? Not coming home with no babies, not bugging out.
Yep.
And you off the wall with it. Like, you like, what? Yeah, okay. Go up the street and talk to the mother, talk to my homeboy mother, see what she going through. That nigga's in court right now. You feel what I'm saying? That nigga's in juvenile detention right now.
She raised 2 kids right now.
Yeah, about to have 2 kids right now. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of stuff I feel like people need to sit back and really look at their situation, and your level of reaction has to fit what's really going on. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you can't just be beefing at these kids and just beefing at these kids and they're not even really bad kids.
Yeah.
Like, nah, you just got to take your time, man. I don't know. And I don't even have any kids, but I just know that there's certain things that just watching that I would not do. And I would try to approach it in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how it felt as a kid. Like, you feel like you're being singled out.
Absolutely. And that's why you've been selective with having kids, because it's a certain type of atmosphere that you want to create, and you can't create this atmosphere with any old woman.
Can't.
You cannot. Because a lot of these women don't see it the way you see it. So it just ends up being a battle for 18 years. And who wants to battle? You know,
that's the biggest thing with me now. Word. Thinking about what she gonna teach my son or my daughter, you know, how she gonna react, what's her temperament like if I don't want it, are she gonna listen to what I would like? What are we gonna feed my child? Like, is she on the same type of movement that, you know, we don't even gotta be on the same, just as long as we in the same book. Like, we don't even gotta necessarily be on the same page, but it's like a whole thing now, you know, and I'm glad I waited, because I know a lot of people that's going through that right now where, you know, they don't live a certain lifestyle and they're worried about, is their child living that lifestyle that they don't want them to live on the other side, because, you know, other people are pig-headed, they're petty, you know, so.
And also, they didn't think about these things when they
Exactly.
were dating, and they didn't think about the long-term effects. You know, I've had people within this group where their baby moms have hit me up, and I said, nah, sweetie. You're right with who it needs to be with. Don't hit me up. What you hit me up for? You think I'm finna sit here and talk bad about him? Nah. And I told her straight up, I said, what you knew about him, you already knew. So if you decided to have a child with him, then you got to deal with the repercussions of that. And if you don't feel like he's doing enough or he's whatever, deal with that. And immediately right after that, deleted her from Facebook. I'm not your go-to friend, and you ain't gonna be using my social media to figure out what your nigga doing. This is that exists. So bye. You thought it was a girl code? We ain't doing girl code here. No.
We think logically over here.
The person who I'm talking about, he know who I'm talking about. No, I had to let her know. No, sweetie, you got an exit stage left. I'm not sitting here to be talking bad about your baby father. You chose him, you better choose and deal with that. He got other children before you. So if you wasn't satisfied with what he was doing, then how you thought you was gonna be different. Don't hit me up. And I blocked her.
Accountability.
Bye.
You can't talk bad about the person in front of the kids. Like, I would never do that.
Never.
Like, my kids know. They know me and their mother don't get along, but they would never hear me say, yo, your mother is something else. Because she is a great mother, I'll tell you that much.
Yep.
I would never disrespect her in front of the kids.
She is. She is a great mother. I'm sorry.
Never.
She's a great mother. She has your kids enrolled in different activities. She's very persistent. She's very consistent. No, it may not be what you want, but at the end of the day, she is a good mother to your children. She is.
Gotta be that way. Word.
Yeah. You know, everything ain't gonna always cross a line on the board. It's just not. And we have to know that, especially when we're not with the partner. We have less control over what is and how it looks, and we have to respect that. But you know, at the end of the day, you was having sex with this woman unprotected. So if you realize now, oh, she don't see my religion thoughts, or she don't, well, nigga, you gonna have to just deal with that, because It was no problem when you was nutting in the raw. It was no problem when you was doing.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
It was no,
Let her preach. Let her preach. Let her preach.
it was no problem. Right. It was no problem. So we gotta show some more empathy. We gotta show some more sympathy. And like Taj said, a lot of the times people we dealing with their parents that they don't got the tools. And some of y'all ain't got the tools. Cause y'all ain't get it from y'all parents and y'all still ain't pick them up yourself. So,
Ooh.
you know, like, don't be mad when your kid is having the same TED talk.
I'm ready for it.
Okay, Romel, Jermaine, y'all got children. Don't be mad when your kid is on this same type of TED talk saying, my dad didn't do this. Don't be mad.
That's not me. My kids, like, listen, one thing about me and my kids, I make sure they have whatever they want, whenever they want. Ask Pat. Pat.
Yeah, but that's not enough. Romel, you know what your kids
No.
you
But I communicate.
emotional connection.
Yeah, before I didn't communicate. I did talk to them, but I didn't talk to them like how I supposed to. Now, I talk to my kids then every day. She tells me if she has an issue. If she doesn't have an issue, we're good. I even tell her, listen, make sure you call Pat and make sure you talk to Pat too. Don't just call and talk to me. I can't hear you, Mo. Can't hear
She
you.
got muted or muted herself. Yeah, same here. I talk to my kids. We speak. Like I have more in-depth conversations with them now because kids are so smart. So like we be talking about stuff and they be bringing up stuff that I didn't even think they would be knowing about type shit. So my kids talk.
Don't mute me. Sorry.
Yeah, let us speak.
Right. I'm not saying nothing disrespectful. Why you muting me?
What you were saying, Mo?
Yeah, I want to know why I was muted.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying nothing disrespectful. These men have children and they have children that are growing up and they need to be aware that if they're not parenting in the way that we're discussing right now, that their kids may do the same thing. I mean,
my kids won't.
We're here doing
I
it,
hear you.
talking about our parents.
Yeah. And I make sure
my kids won't have that issue because I don't want them. I went through that.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want my kids. Like the way I became a better parent was doing everything opposite of what my parents did. My parents were shitty parents. I had the worst parents.
Yep.
So for me to be a better parent, like, okay, that's what my mom did. I'm not gonna do that.
Correct.
My mom beat the shit out of me. I probably hit one of my kids once. I'm my 4 kids. I don't hit my kids. I have conversations with them. Like Romel said, I'll take shit away from them. One time my kids had bad grades, I went to their mother's house and took their egg boxes and brought it to my house. I'm not playing shit. And if they punish over there in mother's house, when they come over here chill with daddy, they punished over here too.
Most definitely.
100%.
As long as you're still aware that
that's what they're gonna be like, I'm not coming to dad's house.
Of the experience that they may not see it how you are presenting it, then that's okay. Because the same way you're saying, I took the Xbox, I took the this, I took the that, they may say, Daddy, a hard ass.
They do.
I'm not going to dad's house.
They do.
Mom's is cooler.
I'm like the fun
All
stern.
I'm saying is you can't take away from someone else's experience. That's all I'm saying. And I think that that's the problem that we have with even our own parents is that they take away from our experience. I have my own experience of you. And you can't paint it to me because to you, you provided a different lifestyle than what you were used to. That doesn't make it right or better. Maybe better compared to what you've dealt with.
Right.
Not better in the sense of what I expect to get from a parent.
Right.
And we have to be acknowledging that. We have to be fair with that.
I mean, but that's what you want as a parent. You want your kids to have a way better life than what your life was. 100%. So
that comes in levels. I think that my mom, even in her drunkenness, she thinks that she's provided a different level because she didn't get the love or the affection that she felt that she should have got from her mom. Does that make her the perfect mom? No, it does not. But has she provided me more than what she got? Yes. And we have to be able to respect that. Because again, she couldn't give me the tools that she ain't have. You couldn't give me the tools.
Right.
You couldn't give me the tools. So you can understand that your kids may not feel like you've given them the tools, even though you feel like you've done your best, the same way your mother and your father feel like they've done their best. But they still didn't give you the tools. This is why
Know
we
your
talking
lim-
about it right
know,
now.
know your limits and your limitations, man. Know where you was at with it. You could give me the, if you can't, stop trying to give me tools that you don't have
That
then.
you don't
Like
have.
you got them. Like you got them, but you
That's
don't really
it.
got the tools.
You ain't
But
got
even if I don't have the tools, or if I mean knowledge of the tools, I can still pass that tool on. You can't tell me I can't. That's impossible. You
right.
can learn as a parent.
And even you saying, I don't have the
Absolutely.
tools. I think that's where we fail, especially in the Black community. We are scared to say, I ain't got the tools. I ain't got the tools. I wish I could teach you a different way. I wish I could tell you how many of us have grew up with the education is the best way. Is it? Because now we looking at our friends who got college degrees working at McDonald's. So is it? Is it? You know, but that's the tools that they had. That's what the city, the environment, the government, media told them that was needed. So to them, they did provide us with tools. It don't mean that the tools work. It don't mean that I was able to build the house that you thought I was able to build. And we have to, as parents, you guys have to understand that that may happen and be okay with that. And be able to express that to your children without you feeling demeaned or less than, because they're telling you their experience. Their experience doesn't make you less of a parent. It does not. And that's all I want y'all to know. It doesn't make you less of a parent. It doesn't mean that you didn't do your best. It just means that you didn't give them the tools that they feel that they needed to navigate the world. Especially now that the world is different. It's very different. And that's okay.
Gotta keep having those conversations with your kids as they grow. The conversations gotta mature.
Absolutely. Boom.
And that's how I talk to my kids.
Yes, absolutely. They gotta mature. They gotta
100%.
change. They gotta shift. Because we talking about different things as you grow.
100%.
You know, birds and the bees, that story changes as you grow.
That story's gone. My oldest
First
son
of all,
came to
kids
me
don't
about
dance, they don't
sex talk. That birds and bees story is gone.
Yeah.
It's done.
My son was telling me,
Okay.
I'm like, how you know about that? They teach us in school, Dad. I'm like, what the fuck is going
After
on?
school to chill.
I learned about the
Yeah.
birds and the bees in school too. I didn't learn it from my mother. When my mother finally broke it down, all that woman talked about was STDs and pregnancy. She didn't really break down
Try to scare you from it versus
and
trying
love
to explain it to you.
and even affection and pleasure. Because I feel like one thing that parents forget to talk about sex is the pleasure part. And you have to let your kids know how to navigate pleasure.
Everything is
But
fear
it's
based.
gonna scare
Like,
you from it.
Everything
like
is
a lot, exactly. A
fear-based.
lot of parents taught you with a fear based
Right,
mentality.
100%.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yo,
You try
Sasha, where
to-
you keep coming from, bro? You coming from a tree house?
Kids keep popping in.
Niggas like, oh yeah.
The first book
Nah.
I saw was
You
an
know,
STD book full of STDs.
Yeah.
That's how my mother introduced sex to me. Because I think she did that because I told her, oh Ma, we was in school today and they talked about sex. So she felt, what? The school's getting ahead of me? Let me show you. My mother's a CNA, she worked in the nurse field. She pulled out the book of STDs. I said, oh no, I can't. I'm not interested in sex. That's what they get? Oh my God, herpes look like that? And it gave me the fear. And you know, out of all of my friends, I was the last one to lose my virginity. You know what I mean? Like my friends lost their virginity in their early teens. I was 16, 17 before I lost my virginity because I was fear-based, not just on STDs, but pregnancy and what that looks like and how that changes your life and shifts your life. So it made me like, I'm gonna pass on sex. Plus, yeah, y'all know, y'all niggas, that's all y'all want.
All right, Iana. All right.
Especially
My,
at that age.
my fault, y'all. I got a flight in the morning and I didn't pack. So you know I'm on my CPT time right now trying to get my shit
What time
together.
was your flight?
Huh? It's not early, but I haven't been sleeping, man. It's been a rough week. I'm trying to get some sleep tonight. Flight is at 12 o'clock though.
You coming to New York?
Where you going?
Going to Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Be careful, because the COVID is running rapid.
You going to
Atlanta.
Listen, man.
Don't do Atlanta like
Next time
that.
we see Piper, you gonna be in
I
the
am
club
going to
chilling.
like
You about to
that.
go party.
How long you
Nah.
been in
Like,
Atlanta?
he
Club
like, yo,
chilling.
live your life.
Nah,
He about to go
truthfully-
party right now.
That's why he
Nah,
said live your life. He about to
truthfully-
live his life.
Nah, truthfully, I got 2 interviews in Atlanta, bro. I'm going out there.
Good.
Trying
Good.
to get my mind
good
right.
luck.
You got two
A lot of
interviews.
work there. I'm happy to hear that.
You
Huh?
got interviews, and then you go to the strip club later that night to get some
Oh
weight.
nah, I'm good, bro. Yo, you know it's gonna be like
Yo, Magic
you know
City.
it's gonna be like 30 degrees in Atlanta the next 3 days,
Oh,
bro.
it's
I'm
cold
not-
as shit. Y'all didn't see me just walking outside. It was snowing today.
I'm
No.
straight.
Atlanta?
It's ice
Yeah,
cold
no.
outside right now.
It's brick outside, bro.
25.
Oh,
Well, we can't relate up here.
Yo, you
You're in
different.
Atlanta. It's very
Y'all
warm
need to
there.
take y'all
It's like
weather back,
60
okay?
Nah, y'all can hold
Just
it.
on my face.
Nah,
That's
y'all
like-
It's all
that
good
shit.
just a week ago.
Nah, you can hold it down.
Yo, Cypher, when you coming back?
No.
I'm only going for 3 days.
Oh, day. I was about to say I'm about
Yeah.
to book a flight for the weekend.
Yeah, I'm only going. I gotta work, man. So I just took this time in between to go do what I gotta do real quick.
Good opportunity.
Motherfuckers gonna start taking trips just to go to a club and shit.
Yo,
Like,
what's
yo, we
up?
gotta get on this flight, go to Atlanta, go to this club real quick.
Yo, bro, flights is mad cheap, bro. I got a round trip flight and a car for 3 days for $177, bro.
What's
What?
good? Can we go to
Yo,
Atlanta?
don't say that to Mo. She be like, what?
That's because he in Florida, though. That's because he in Florida.
Right, I'm gonna say, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half. It's an hour and a half from me, so it's not bad.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Damn,
could have
minute.
drove here. Why you ain't
Round
drive?
trip North Carolina
It's
is
a 6-hour drive.
Yep.
That is not
It's
that
like
long.
going to Virginia, bro.
It's a
That is
6-hour
not
drive.
long.
And
Uh-huh.
like I just said, I haven't slept, bro. I've been working night and
Yeah, I
day
don't.
since
Yeah,
Wednesday.
drive.
You
Yep.
feel what I'm saying?
I don't
I'm-
recommend driving now.
I'm
So,
tired.
interview. You ready?
I'm
Yo,
running
I
over.
interview
go to
ready.
Atlanta. What's up?
What's up? I'm listen.
Listen.
Y'all let me know when y'all want to go.
First
And then
of
we
all,
just
y'all
step
need to
out.
come visit
Fuck
y'all
that.
one and
I'm
only
ready to
Atlanta
move.
Cafe.
I'm ready
Yo,
to move.
Y'all
man.
niggas like to talk.
I'm trying to move.
Yo,
back.
I'm dead ass.
Listen, y'all know how I get down. Y'all niggas
Who
talk.
trying to move?
I'm on
who trying to move
Expedia
to
right
Atlanta?
now.
Here we go. That's what I'm
Right.
talking about.
I'm on
Let's
it.
do
Look,
it.
look, I'm on
Bro,
Expedia
listen.
as y'all was talking. I don't talk. I
Listen.
look to see what's going on.
Listen, it's so
January
much
2nd.
black businesses.
Oh
Let's
shit!
do it as our New Year's party.
I'm
Atlanta.
There's so much black. There's so much black shit going on out there,
I
yo.
gotta
Like,
pass on that one.
I'm
I gotta
dead.
work.
All right. Why you gonna pass on that one, Nay?
Gotta work. They got me working every holiday this year, bro.
But
I don't have
January
no
2nd,
listen.
holidays
after
off.
the holiday.
truth be told, if these interviews go well, my ass
No.
might be out there in the next by New Year's. So that's definitely a possibility on the turn up, baby.
But
You know what I'm saying? We could do that.
Airbnb at a big ass house though.
Let's do it.
Oh shit!
Look at that.
Pat looking
I will put in
Pat
for that
looking.
weekend though.
I
I
got
will put
bros
in
in
for that
Atlanta.
weekend.
Oh,
I see y'all
look,
niggas
Phantom.
Saturday.
Vegas just Phantom. Yo, I
I
was
see y'all
going.
niggas
Listen,
that Saturday.
I was going to surprise my wife, and cause we never spent New Year's together in 10 years. I was gonna tell her I'm not working New Year's, but I guess I could tell her now because I think we gonna.
Oh, let's do this.
I think we out.
All right.
I'm
Look,
trying to be out there by then, bro.
I was
So y'all, so this is what I need, right? I need y'all to pray for me, right? That
Definitely.
I get this gig. Because if I get one, see, the other gig is for the police department, the College Park Police. So I got to go do the agility test. But
Okay.
I need the other job to come through so that I could
can
kind of
stay and do that.
maintain that, and I ain't got to run back and forth between Florida.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I need y'all to put that in. I think it's a full moon tonight, so I need y'all to get y'all meditation on.
Yes, get that the
You know,
intention for the night,
you know
right?
what I'm saying?
Everybody say a prayer. Bow your head.
Yo,
Boy.
I don't know if y'all can
Dear
see.
Lord,
Got you, brother.
Yo, if y'all can see the price,
really.
this is like 3 days.
Oh,
I can't.
107. I'm telling you.
yeah.
What?
I'm about to book that right.
I'm telling you,
Hold
bro.
up. Mo about
Oh,
to
you
wild
guys
out on
coming
you.
to Atlanta?
Yo, hold up. Mo about to wild out on you. Yeah,
Everybody.
Taj, we travel heavy. We travel in the group too.
I'm telling you, yo.
Y'all
Hold
try
up.
to do it. Look,
Let's do it.
you do this.
I'm down.
Yo, I can't.
Let's do it.
Was good midnight.
I'm trying to be
Listen,
out
no
there.
price looking right. Listen, I'm in the middle of. I gotta be moving, but if the cookies crumble the right way, I'll slide my ass to Atlanta.
Come
Yo,
on.
Yo, truth be
Sam,
told,
what's that?
I miss y'all, yo. So we could all do that, yo. If the stars align and we can make that shit happen, man, I'm with that.
And we can
'Cause
find a basketball court just in case.
I ain't seen my boys in a minute. It's too cold out there for that shit,
Oh
man.
yeah, Atlanta's cold
What
right now.
are your sweatpants? You know, New York
Man,
niggas.
it's brick, bro. It's brick, yo. It's
It's
brick in
cold.
Florida
It's
right
33 degrees right
Oh,
now.
33? Nah, I thought you said 40 something.
Yeah.
Yo,
No, it's 33. It's like
Mm-mm.
freezing.
yo, what about Miami instead? I need some heat.
Well, with Georgia's weather, it's kind of bipolar. So next week it might be warm again. You just never know.
Atlanta been on my map as one of the places I would want to live. So
I never been
It's
there. I just passed
beautiful.
through.
Only thing we missing is
I've been there. I've been there twice, but I went out there for
Yo,
work.
listen,
I've never been out there.
Atlanta is like different parts of New York all meshed in one. So
Yes,
the
it
shit
is.
kind
I
of look
agree.
like it kind of looked like Chelsea and fucking Lower
It looked like
East
the Bronx
Side.
and Chelsea mix in one.
Yeah, it just looks like
Okay.
it looked like different
That
parts
sounds
of New York.
interesting.
Yo, you know,
Mixed up.
so this is what y'all should do for the people who don't know. Well, what kind of turned me on to Atlanta was that show, even though it wasn't that successful. Single Ladies. With,
Oh, with Lisa Ray and all of them.
yeah, I was like, oh, they be having like a little sophisticated black scene down there. I was like,
It's black, bro.
Yeah,
It's
you can get
black.
a
The
lot of
music,
stuff
the music,
out
it was
here. It's
it was
so
the
easy.
music for me.
It was the gays.
It
for
was the
me.
music for me. Like
It
just
was the gays for me.
hearing it, that too, but like it
It's
was the
too
music for
negative
me.
out
Like
there
it just the
for me.
sound, just
babe, we not gonna get.
I felt so good every time I heard music that came from the A.
No, I'm sorry.
And then it was the movie. It was the movie The Players Club too.
So too many New
It's
York.
black, bro. It's so black.
So too
You know
many.
that's what
Nah,
got
it is,
me.
man.
Yeah,
That's what got me.
Black
It was the Players Club too. It was like I gotta go down
I
south.
fuck with it. Listen, I call Atlanta the Black Wall Street, man.
I
love
went
it.
to
for like it's just like
I went to the spot.
They call it Wakanda. That's why I know they got the cure for COVID down there. They front.
That's all they chilling.
It's in public. Yo, Pat, it's in Publix.
It probably
Is
is.
it public?
It's in Publix, my
shit.
nigga.
I used to go to
Oh,
Publix.
like, yo, you
It's
got
in
that.
the sandwiches. It's in the
Motherfucker.
sandwiches in
I'm Publix
Publix.
sandwiches be hitting.
Yo,
Public
it's a
sandwiches is
vegan.
the best one.
Sandwiches be hitting.
It's a vegan pizza restaurant out there, bro. Son,
The plant-based pizzeria.
plant-based.
Plant-based?
Nah, you
Oh,
can
Got a
really
lot of
flourish.
plant-based.
Yeah.
Nah, for real, like
Yo,
you
this-
can
so many
really
places.
flourish.
We vegans around
You can
here,
really
y'all.
flourish
Yo,
as a
listen to what I
vegan.
tell you.
Got two out
But
On
you
our
there.
can
vegan
flourish
shit.
as a vegan down in Atlanta. Like there's so
Literally,
much that's going
exactly.
conducive to plant-based lifestyles. Like you can
can.
really live in Atlanta and be a vegan. Like
You can.
they really are promoting the vegan
You
stuff.
can. Word.
It's
There's
all
a vegan
organic.
spot
I
too.
love
And,
it. Like
and the food is
you
so
feel
good.
better.
The food is
And I'm not
And it
mad
smells
good.
like
but
the
it's so
the
good.
air smells better.
And I say it's delicious. There's so many
Right,
places
Pat.
out here.
I had this Georgia. It
Team
was like a
building trip
Georgia
to
peach.
Atlanta.
It was like a Georgia peach flatbread sausage joint, boy. Oh my God, yo! I went and got it twice the next day.
Oh,
I
That's
spent
how I
that
felt
50
about Slutty Vegan when I first went. I was like, God, oh,
I
it's good.
spent. I didn't
wait,
get a
Slutty
chance to
Vegan is
go
out
there. I
You
didn't
gotta
get a chance.
go, and the lines is so much better now because they got 2 more restaurants. So there's 3 restaurants in total. So the lines ain't long like it was.
Yeah, it was long when I went out there. Them lines was
Yeah.
crazy. That's why I didn't
It
go.
was like 2 hours just to get a damn sandwich.
I ain't doing that.
But it's good though. I promise you it was good.
Hey,
I promise you it was good. And I was a
listen.
non-believer.
I'm a fat boy. Ain't nothing worth 2 hours standing on line. Ain't
All right,
nothing.
niggas did it for
Telling
Chick-fil-A.
I'm
when it
gonna
came
do
to
a
New York.
DoorDash, Uber Eats.
Too.
I do an Uber Eats order.
Facts.
I wait
Anyway,
2 hours for that. I'm not waiting in line.
yo,
Fuck
I
out
will
here.
pick up. Yo, I will pick up my own shit. I
Right.
like Uber Eats for Patrick. I'm not going on a line. I do my own shit. I pick up my own shit. Yeah, Uber Eats for Patrick. Yeah, thank you.
That's
Stupid. You guys look
Oh, sir,
stupid.
you can have the night off. You can go ahead and go. I got my order. Like, oh,
But anyway, so anybody got any final words before we wrap this up?
Y'all do that. Or y'all hotel or Airbnb?
Bro, we gonna talk about that
B&B.
offline, bro.
Yo, word, man.
Bro, we
That's
gonna get to
that's
that.
my only thing. I'm gonna have to find a place. I'm gonna have to find a place to live out there.
charity.
Nah, Syfe, you'll find a place in 2 weeks. I promise you. I had a job and an apartment in 2 weeks.
Word.
Good.
Word. And my first apartment down there was $425 a month.
Get the fuck out of here.
Them prices ain't there no more.
The whole year. I know.
I'm
That was like 10 years ago.
looking at one ways right now.
But
Not
she
even
said
It's more like
425. I
825.
almost left.
Certain towns,
I love
yeah, it's certain towns
Nah,
where
that
it's
used to
cheaper
get you a
though.
really nice place back in the day.
Yeah,
Not no
but, like,
more.
it's certain, but
Nah,
yeah,
my
it's certain towns out there that's cheaper than other towns. Like if you
Yeah,
be
my
on the
uncle got a
east or the
joint.
west side.
He got a 2-bedroom joint for $900 in one of them towns.
Yeah,
I can't
depending
remember.
on where you at, it's the hood, ain't it?
Yeah,
No, it ain't the
like
hood.
it.
It's just
Nah,
it's
the
not
west
the
side
hood.
is
It's on the
cheaper.
outskirts.
It's like 30 minutes. It's like 30 minutes from the city though. That's it.
That could be possible. I don't live in the city no more.
Yeah,
I live on the outskirts.
Jonesboro,
I live in
Riverdale.
Douglasville.
I
Yeah,
heard the
that's
shit
where
by
you
the
live at.
airport is the cheapest.
Douglasville.
Oh, Douglasville. My uncle got a
Douglasville.
whole like 3-bedroom
Yeah.
house out there. They paying the low.
Exactly.
Like, it's
You get
beautiful.
my house is
But y'all-
4-bedroom. I pay $11.50 a month.
But ain't y'all a flood? But ain't Douglasville a flood zone though?
11.
It's a-
Yeah, you heard him. He goes,
That's what I said. I said
But
what he said.
Douglasville,
Pat
oh
Locke.
gosh, ain't Douglasville a flood zone though? From when they had that big tornado all that shit out there and they shut it, like Six Flags
Yeah,
got
all of the
destroyed.
shit flooded at that point, but it didn't get
That
no.
shit went under the ground.
But that was everywhere. That was everywhere flooded when that happened. So
But that's like, but
it was like
it really
pockets.
affected
Whatever
the
was
west
near
end.
like the rivers, whatever was near the rivers and the creeks, then yeah, it was flooded. But
Yeah, Mableton,
out here where I
all that
live,
shit got hit.
no.
I had to log
And
off
Where
for
I
a
say
second.
no.
Normally,
I'm in the country.
Yo, Pat, we out, bro. Word
Yo,
up.
stop, yo. I will leave.
Pat
Yo,
left.
bro, we out,
Yo,
bro.
Wild just found a round trip for $97.
Round trip.
Wow.
Cause you coming from Jersey.
Yo, let me
Newark
tell you,
Airport
right?
is always cheap.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, Pat. I
Yo,
went out there and I
I'm
spoke
out.
to this dude with a security company, right? I went out there and he invited me to the house. That's where we did the interview. So I went to his house, big ass crib, big ass backyard, bro, big ass crib. So I'm asking him, he's like, yo, I said, is this a mixed area? He's like, no, all black people. Bro, when I tell
You saying
you
South Fulton?
the houses that was out there, bro.
That's what's up.
You probably saying South Fulton.
That's
That's where
what's
like
up.
that is where I want to be. Like when I
Right,
purchase my home,
Taj?
I want to be in South Fulton.
Right?
All the black. It's black and beautiful out there.
That's where the money is at, baby.
Listen, 2021 is calling Midnight to Atlanta. That might be the move too.
Right.
I'm about to be designer.
Uh-oh.
Panda.
Uh-oh. Everybody
I got
come
the
on
one
to
for that.
Atlanta.
I'm
Bro.
coming back.
Yo, bro, we go out there.
Come
We get
on,
a business popping, Pat. Yo, listen, man.
Come on.
Let's
Man, I
do
can
it.
open up my own barbershop out there. I like where this is going.
Let's do it.
Okay,
My man
look at
opened.
there.
My boy that was promoting. My boy Mo that was promoting in at Taj in New York. He opened up a barbershop out there. He be
That's
going
fire.
back and forth. Bro.
That's
I'm
fire.
telling you, man. Black people out there getting it in, man.
I know I can do nursing out there, so I'm happy. I'm ready to go. My friend working at
Yo, it's
Emory,
even
she
better
like, come
when it's people
down.
you know. When you rocking with people you know, it's even better, yo.
Yo, so let's.
Oh, that's lit.
So we gonna get a piece of land out there and build houses on that motherfucker.
We can do that
Make our
too,
own fucking
baby.
town. Go.
We can do that.
I like how y'all making it sound.
Huh?
Great.
Yo, Georgia, I heard Georgia with the land is real cheap, yo.
It is.
Yo, anyway, we about to get off this shit because niggas about to be looking at flights and houses and stuff.
They about to have me go backwards.
Yeah, I know.
I'm about to go and change my location.
Yeah, I know within 3
I
days.
was.
Yeah, I know within 3 days I'm gonna have an event on Facebook, right? Yeah, I already know.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, I already know.
You moving?
Hey, I'm gonna have a
I was gonna
Facebook
finish
event.
school. I was gonna finish school, then move. I think I changed my mind. I will finish school out there.
Right.
Hey, yo,
For real.
and we got the right to bear arms, yo.
Yo, I'm getting
And you got the right to bear arms.
I'm out. I can't. I'm out.
Can't get no better than that.